G'day guys, Jared McMillan here, J&J Rural. It's come time again to answer the Howcome Humpday. Last week's question was about clipping line wires and why we like to do it. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is one of the systems that we're talking about. With a clip here, simple little tech screw. Our line wire is free to move in there, which is good. It means it can expand and can tract through the line. Very good, makes sense. Same down here, clipped on. Every line wire is clipped on, and then the netting is clipped to the line wires. Oh, makes a bit of sense. Let's go for a walk and see if I can't find another example of some other styles of clips. Now, full disclosure, you are about to see a very embarrassing temporary fence that my wife and I put up a little while back. It was never meant to stay up as long as it did. It was only ever supposed to be up for like a day or two, and then just, I don't know, man, between the weather getting to how it was and things being so busy and hectic, it's just stayed there. But we were limited to what we could do because we just grabbed a couple of star pickers from the shed and some wire. So please don't hold that fence against me. I promise I do know how to build a really nice fence. So yeah, don't hold me to that standard of work for what you're about to see. Thanks. Righto, couldn't find any other examples of clips, but yeah, you saw that one that I just showed you. Now that same style of clip and others similar to it, they work on any sort of post. Round, flat, square, hexagonal, whatever. Right? They work, and they work really well. Some people, going back to last week's episode, or the week before, some people still are of the opinion that you have to run your wires through your posts because it's the only way that you can get your wires to stay on the fence. Well, it's just not the case, because you have this beautiful invention called a screw that is very easy to put in with a battery drill. It's good gear. I recommend it. It's heaps easier. Anyway, so I could go on. Trust me, I could go on, but I'll try not to. I guess I want to explain the problem that happens, the problem that occurs from not being able to undo clips to separate your pickets or your posts from your line wires. Hey Murph, say hello to Murph. Thanks, darling. Anyway, if we look over here, this is a star picket here on my boundary fence. Yeah, I haven't used clips, the wires are going through the holes. Now, the whole fence, all my fences need replacing. The problem is, you have a fence like this one over here. This is just a temporary one we put up a while back. And to keep the animals off the boundaries, just a quick rough and dirty, right? Didn't have any clips and all that, and we just did it in about 40 minutes. So we just ran the wires through the holes. But you see this one here, it's completely leaning over. Now, on this fence, it's not too much of a problem. You're right there, Murph. It's not too much of a problem because there's so much slack in it. That we can stand it up and drive again. Although you do have the problem, how do you drive this now without busting your wire? You're going to have to use a sledgy. Anyway, if that had a clip on it, you just undo the clip. Your line wires can stay where they're supposed to be, and You can move the thing over, drive it back into the ground, clip your wire wires back on, bobs in, and you're good to go. Now, if that was a timber fence, same. If it was a timber fence, I've got one down the back. If all of the wires were clipped onto the timber fence, the wires are still in decent nick. All I'd have to do is undo the clips, pluck the post out, add one post to the whole fence line, which then allows me to change the spacings of my bays so I can re-drive the posts into sound ground, and bob's your nan. Don't have to disconnect any wires, don't have to rerun any wires, and I can also already use the wires as my site, my line. You can't do that if you're going through the holes in your posts. So that's why we use a clip system. The only other way you can separate your posts from your wires is 3 options. You either break your line, so cut your line wires, undo them at the termination point, or split your post in half. So anyway, bit of food for thought. Why don't you try out clipping your line wires? You'll notice a hell of a difference. Anyway, that's this week's tasty trick. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Howcome Humpday, I guess. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Don't forget, click like, leave a comment. If you've got any questions, comments, always happy to answer them. You find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. See ya. I'm going to say hello, Oscar, have ya? I'm going to say g'day, mate. What is it? Where you going, Oscar? Yep. Scared him off, Murph.